Beer and burgers.
Beer sponsors.
Hmm.
So we're I'm gonna have a beer up there as well. I gotta get the labels made, man. I've been slacking on that. I gotta get the labels made because the way I envision it, I want
Yeah.
like a triple entendre on the label. It's called Dark John, so I need it to like be a dark
Dark
John
Joe.
with a bunch of dark Johns around her, like everything that associates to the word, to the slang. I want it to all be in that label. I want the label to really capsulize Philly and
Nah,
all in
man.
one can.
I like
So
that. I like that, man. I like the uniqueness of that vision, bro. That's super dope, man. Super, super dope. So with that being said, man, so what is your inspiration? Like, how did you even get involved with brewing before we even start breaking down the Barrel Flow joint?
to get involved in brewing, I got involved in cigars. I started smoking cigars going back further. My first job
Hmm.
was Valley Green here in Philly, and it was also the Philadelphia Cricket Club, which
Right.
is the oldest country club in America. That's my first job from like age 14 until I graduated college. Um, from that point, my father always smoked cigars, so I was always around it.
Hmm.
And then you come up in the era where your parents smoked with the windows up in the car,
You just
so
getting all that second.
you just there.
Remember this day?
So like boxing match, we watching the matches. He smoked cigars, whatever. So that kind of got me into it. So as I
Okay.
got older, fast forward to my first job, I would go to Ubik downtown, buy
Yeah.
my sneakers, and then I would walk across the streets to Halt's. See,
Mm.
everybody always think Halt's has a lounge now upstairs in this Ashton's. It's always been a smoke section in the back of Halt's.
Wow.
So I used to always go there in the morning. I would buy my sneakers and then I would go to Halt's
Right.
and I would
Street.
smoke my
Yeah.
cigars. So this is around like 15, 16 years old. I've
Okay.
always had facial hair. It look a little patchy now because things have transpired this past year that I need to get my hydration back.
There you go. There you go.
But
Trust me, I'm on the same tip. Don't trip.
yeah, man. So I've always had a beard. I always had facial hair. I couldn't buy a Lucy from the Chinese store, but I could always buy a cigar.
That's wild. That's
So I
mad
would sit in the
wild.
back and smoke my cigars, and I started like with single Scotch malt, single malt Scotch,
Yeah, there
and
you
I would
go.
have my drinks there. And then as I got older and I started like going to school and like in the summertime, my
Mhm.
first brewery that I went to was a microbrewery on 15th and Sansom called Nottinghead. They're out of commission now, but it was Nottinghead, and I used to always go there for lunch.
Right.
Um, that's how I got into beer. Once I started smoking and going to school in the South, going to Johnson C. Smith in Charlotte, I'm not
Yeah.
drinking that heavy liquor, so I need a beer. So that's what got me into beer,
Got you. Got
and then it just it just never stopped. I seen that there wasn't a lot of black faces in those spaces.
you. Mm.
Even going to Notting Hill, that's on 15th Sansom. I was always one of the only black people there. But I was, that was a good thing and a bad thing. It was a good thing because everybody already knew me when I walk in.
Right. Yeah.
It
It's,
was a bad thing because I'm
it's like,
still
yo,
the
who's
only
this
one.
fool? Who's
Yeah,
that?
like
Sprinkle of pepper
it
up in
was
here.
crazy. I
What's up
was
with him?
I remember going there underage
Mm.
and then going back on my 21st birthday.
Hey yo.
I was going there on a regular basis
Right.
to the point like I knew the bouncer, I knew the bartenders, I knew the shifts they was making, I knew who was brewing the beer in the back, I knew who was
Mm.
running the kitchen. Like I was really in there. Like
Right.
I was a customer. And I went back for my 21st birthday. I never forget. And they was just like, "Well, how old you turning?" And I told them 21. They said, "We always knew you was a little young, but you know how to act, you know how to
You got
conduct
it
yourself.
right. You wasn't a young boy.
We ain't had no issues, man. It was
You wasn't a young acting young boy. I put it like that.
that was how I got into beer, man. And then from there, doing the research, it's we even me being here right now, I'm less than 1% of the beer industry. So
Crazy.
when you look back on but everybody calls me Matt. Uh, so when I looked it up, when I had just graduated in 2012
Hmm.
from Johnson C. Smith, and they were like, I was looking up like beer, just black. I didn't know. I'm like, it has to be a black owned brewery,
Right.
and it wasn't. It popped up at Theodore Mack. Theodore Mack, Theodore Mack Senior in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. That was the very first. That was America's first black-owned
Black
brewery.
Brewery. Wow.
Black brewery, Oshkosh, Wisconsin. And the history goes, this the myth goes. I don't know if it's a myth, but the story goes, if it wasn't for it was called People's Brewery. If it wasn't
Yeah.
for People's Brewery being blackballed, Pabst Blue Ribbon wouldn't be what it is today.
Yo, Paps, really?
So it goes back that far, and because they've been calling me Mac since I was a kid.
Yeah.
So when I looked it up, and he spells it exactly the same way, Mack, it's like, oh, all right, this is the sign that I needed to see. And from there, I think I still got the old notes from one of my ex girlfriends. I would get like tea packets and
Yeah.
like try to like just come up with different flavors to try to get everything together. Um, yeah, man, this was it was a long time coming, but. When I first went to, it was called Fresh Fest before it was Barrel Flow.
Got you.
I went
Okay.
to Fresh Fest, and that was the year that Garrett Oliver was there. Garrett Oliver is the head brewmaster at Brooklyn Brewery. The Oxford Book of Beer, he wrote it. Uh, Black brewer. I had a 6-pack of my IPA with me. I wasn't even brewing at the time. I was just there to enjoy the festivities, see all the black owned breweries, and see what's the best way to get involved in it. I gave him a taste of the beer. He told me it was the best, one of the best. Now, I'm not gonna say the best. It was one of the best IPAs that he had. And from there, I said, "Fuck it, I ain't gonna stop."
Right. You was on to something. You was on to something like your boy in Wisconsin. So, is his story similar to like what we hear about in like with liquor? How like with Uncle Nearest? Is that kind of like the same thing with Paps? Like he came up with the recipe and then somebody actually stole his product.
No, I can't. I can't even speak on that. I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know the history. I know it started. I think there were two separate entities. I think it was more so like, here's a brewery, here's a white owned brewery, here's a black owned brewery. You doing too much. We can't get this white owned brewery out the way. Because even when it comes to like Coors Light and Yingling, I mean, what is it, Yingling? Because if you go to Texas, you can't find a Yingling. You can find a Shiner,
Oh
but you're not gonna see no Yingling. So
wow.
it's different areas, man. It's like beer. The part that beer goes back to Africa, beer goes back to Egypt. I say
Hmm.
Egypt because that's what it says in the books, but it doesn't necessarily have to be Egypt. It's
Right.
Africa. Beer goes back. That's a us thing, and I think that we don't pay attention to that. And beer, the technology around beer has shaped the world as we know it. Refrigeration didn't come into place because people were trying to preserve food.
Right.
Refrigeration came into place because we were trying to preserve beer when it was on the train moving from place to city to city. So it's
Hmm.
like beer is really a pinnacle in all of our lives if you
Right.
indulge in it or if you don't.
Right. It's kind of changed and kind of molded the way we are in society. That's dope. That's dope. So bro, so what is your inspiration? So right now I know you're pushing the dark stout. I'm not sure if you dabble in other joints like IPAs or your
Absolutely, that was the first
Belgian
one.
wheats. Oh, that was your first IPA. Was your first?
10%. It was called the Mac IPA. It was a 10% IPA. Very
Mm,
smooth, not too hoppy. Not a West Coast IPA. It was very subtle. All of the hop notes was more so on the back end.
okay,
It
okay,
was a very approachable IPA. Something like the stout. Like the stout, most of the
okay.
people that tried the stout at the fest, I don't like stouts. I don't like dark beers. You know what? This ain't bad. I like this.
No, that joint was nice, bro. That
Thank
was
you. I
that was a nice
appreciate it.
groove.
I
It was a
appreciate
nice
it.
groove. Even if I was a slightly inebriated, we had been out there. It was a long day. We got out
Ten
there.
percent, man.
It was out
Ten
there like
point one
12
percent.
o'clock.
People be sleeping. I remember I used to come out there. My first time coming to the festival, man. I had my IPA 10%, and then I had a 14% lemongrass and honey ale, and everything is smooth. Nothing tastes like
Right, they
it's
gonna
as
hit you like,
strong as it
ooh,
is.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh man, this ain't that. This ain't 14%.
Okay,
Okay, just come back,
keep walking, circle the block.
man. You know what? As you seen, like it was people wearing T-shirts. I didn't even sell T-shirts this year. It was people wearing T-shirts
That was
from
dope.
years prior. Like,
Yeah.
oh, no, I come back looking for you every year. So it's a dope. I love the journey of it. Like to see where I'm at now,
Mm.
and the room that I have to grow. It's a lot of things that we still working.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, that. for me, that was obviously my first time being there. So it definitely kudos to you and thank you, bruh. You know, the bruhs. Dog was like, yo,
Absolutely.
we got you. Come on in here. Like just to run around and just introducing folks to us at the tap joint or at the beer tasting. I'm sorry, the bottle tasting.
Bottle share, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the bottle share joint, man. That was a super dope experience. Just like I felt like I was super unprepared. Like I'd have came through with something like, yo, it was that type of flow.
But it's always like the unique stuff, like you said.
Yeah.
Like these are things that everybody can't get. So it's like you got people from Kansas. You got my man making the limoncellos like
Yeah.
24%.
Yo,
And again, we're less than 1%. So a lot of the black owned brewers are all in that room.
right. Which was crazy, yo. Super crazy.
There
Like,
was a few missing, but majority of them was in that room.
yeah, like I remember I was rapping with the young lady. I think she's from New Haven. She has the beer rhythm.
Well, yeah, Rhythm Brewery,
Yeah, Rhythm
Lady Lager,
Brewery.
that's
Yo,
the
like
homie, man.
her story's very similar. Like, yo, just was fell in love with getting in the beer and then kind of like looked around and was like, yo, I'm the only one in here. Like this ain't right. So started dibbling and dabbling, kind of like you, and came up with a recipe. I think, man, that's I think that's just black entrepreneur at his best, bro. Like seeing there's something and then just
Seeing the need and feeling it.
feeling the need. Yep.
Also, it's one of those things where uh, it's one of the industries that we're in,
Mm-hmm.
that we contribute to. Even if I know majority of us will try to say we're not a beer drinker or this and the thing. The flavor palette for beer goes so far and deep. It's not. I don't even. When I hear people say I don't drink beer, my automatic response is no. You just ain't found the one you like.
There you go.
Because it's definitely a beer out there for you. Um, and I mean, again, I'm not forcing alcohol on anyone. If you don't
Right.
drink it, uh, but if you are an alcohol drinker, you're not going to sit here and tell me like beer is disgusting, but you drink Hennessy.
the
It's
drink
it's nothing you can do to that to make it taste better,
at all.
unless it just has no alcohol content in
Or
it.
you're completely inebriated and your taste buds just
If you just drink it,
going
like
numb.
when I see people drinking Hennessy from the bottle, listen, like, I don't know if I need to be the person to give you an intervention. Something needs to happen.
That's not conducive to your life, anybody's lifestyle.
You're going
Be
to make very
facing,
horrible decisions.
yes, facing pause, facing bottles of Henny. Like,
You're facing a bottle of Henny. No.
what are you trying to prove right now?
And I think like that's the thing when it comes to the beer. Like my whole thing is when it comes to Mac Brewing Company, we try to make beer that is strong. We
Hmm.
want high gravity. The goal is I want you to enjoy the beer. I'm a big music lover. I love to smoke my cigars, but my IPA goes good with cigars. Or if you smoke left-handed cigarettes, it's all up to you. Whatever you indulge in. Um,
Hey,
but the goal is to enjoy the beer and not crack the seal.
right,
You know what I'm saying? I don't
right.
want you running back and forth to the restroom and then coming back to your beer. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be able to sit there, enjoy it, get your buzz, and just really enjoy yourself. And that's the whole ideology behind the brand. Being able to kick back, like I think the older we get, we come up in an era where you went to your pops or your parents' friends' house for a cookout. Y'all would kick it there. It wasn't a lot of going out, and you would go to somebody's house. It would be a function. You would go there.
Grandmama house, uncle
I
house,
want to I want
yeah.
to rebuild that feeling. I want that nostalgic feeling of just really just kicking back. And at this point, man, economy's trash. Right? You better be going to somebody's cookout.
Yo, you ain't going out every night like that. Like
Nah.
I don't care what these people be posting. Yo, I hope they
Mm-mm.
don't believe the hype, man. Ain't nobody living like that. Ain't nobody really living like that.
350 used to get you a month worth of groceries. That
Yo,
might get you a week.
dude, ain't that crazy?
Like, and that's depending on where you shop. You know what I mean? Like now if you a great value type of person, 350 you might be able to stretch it a
Might
little.
be able to stretch it a little.
You know
You
what
go
I'm
to
saying? I try
Aldi's,
to pay attention to what I'm eating. So,
right? And
you know
that's
what
a
I'm
whole
saying?
nother. That's a whole nother convo. What am I really putting in my body?
You know what I'm
Nah, I
saying? But
got
yeah,
you. Yo, so you've been banging with the barrel. I remember you just said it used to be called Fresh Fest.
Fresh Fest. Yeah, that was my first time going was 2019. But I was
Okay.
I was a patron. I wasn't a brewer.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
My first time I was supposed to be going, I think was 2020 or was it
Hmm.
19? One of them years. It was the COVID happened.
Okay.
Yeah, it was DigiFest, and then the year following, that was my first year. So I think it was like 2020, and
As
then
a
we had
brewer, 2020 was as a
yeah,
brewer.
as a brewer, it was
Okay.
2020.
So have you seen it evolve, like, or has it always been popping the way it is this past summer?
Oh man, it's definitely evolved. So you got to remember where they first had it. It was at Nova Place in Pittsburgh. They
Okay.
couldn't have it there anymore. It was too big, and it got too big, so they had to find another spot. They found another spot, but then it was some racial stuff that was happening in that area, so we had to find they had to find a new one. And
Okay.
it's been at the same spot for the past 3 years, I want to say, and
Okay.
it's gotten bigger. It's gotten better. It's got more brewers, more collabs. Because I've collabed with a lot of people I wouldn't have the opportunity to meet
Mm,
if I didn't go to this festival. So having a collab with Trogs, like Trogs is one of the biggest brewers
yo,
on the East Coast. Like for me to say that I have a collab with them, um,
that's huge. Troll's
then we did
huge.
a
About to
collab with
get me
my
some angry elf soon. So yeah, you know.
yeah man, and then being able to kick it with them, kick it with the brothers, the Trog brothers.
Yeah,
Uh, we did a collab with them. We did a collab with Montclair. We did a collab. Of course, we did a collab with Grist House this year. Um, we've done. Matter of fact, the distillery we were in,
yeah.
what is it, Kingsfly? We did a collab with them,
What?
and we did a. It was pretty much a car bomb. So they have an orange liqueur,
Yeah.
and then I had the lemongrass and honey ale, and we just made a car bomb out of it.
Wow.
So it was a dope situation, man. I remember when we came up with that collab. That was I just went there one time, but we were just trying to like just spitball
Right.
ideas,
Right.
give
Right.
me everything they have. I brought the beer that I had, and as they're talking, they're literally just having a conversation because my sister was with me, and I'm taking I tasted the liqueur, but I was drinking some of my beer at the same time. I'm double fisting. And when I tasted them together, I just stopped the conversation. Hey, take drink the beer, try the liqueur. No, I poured it in a glass for him
Right.
and
You
said, try
mixed it
that.
though. Yeah.
And this was the distiller at the time. He said, oh, this tastes good together. That's the collab. What are
Yeah.
we gonna do? We gonna do a live car bomb at Barrel Flow. That's it. That's just you
That's
saying we
just
gonna
gonna be
set
the
up next
look.
to each other. They gonna try the beer. They gonna try it by itself. They gonna try the liqueur by themselves, and they gonna come back,
And
mix
they're
them
gonna
up,
mix it.
and go from there. It was a dope year.
Oh, that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. So I mean, the for me, the Barrel and Flow joint was super eye opening because I didn't even realize that there were so many black brewers. And I'm just as you go around and you talk, happen to run into the brothers, War Cloud out of L.A. Yo, they hit yo. Yo, the art was great. So for me, that's what was so eye opening. Was like, oh, this ain't even just about beer. Like this is about culture. Like this is like an art for me. It was like an art scene because it was like people crafting beers. For me, y'all are like artists. Y'all crafting y'all beers. Everybody had their own unique style and what they did. Then you actually had people creating live art on stage, or what you would call a stage. Then you had musicians. You had and then with the War Cloud Jokers, uh they had the moonshine, which was bananas.
But
But
one of them from Word Cloud was doing the live art.
yeah, yeah, the brother, yeah. My man was doing the live art
He's
right
a
there.
mastermind, bro. Like that's my
Hmm.
guy. I gotta call him tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, he's super. I got it, man. Look, hit him up. Tell him get on this joint, man.
Yeah, I got
Give
you.
him my info. Got to get him on here. That was super dope. But it was funny just because rapping with you and then rapping with a few other folks, they were saying how difficult it is as an African American brewer to break into the scene. Like you do have to do the collabs in order to get your product out there. Like
hmm
what is that about though?
Um, I think a lot of it because the easiest way I can describe it is like music goes to me perfectly. So you think about like the record labels. Um, all of us own our own record label. We all have our No Limits. We got our Rockefellers. But the thing we don't have the jive. We don't have the Interscope. We don't got distribution.
Distribution.
So a lot of it is you can. So for instance, depending on what state you are, there's a 3-tier system. There's a 2-tier system. So being in the state of Pennsylvania, you would if me owning a brewery, if I have the brick and mortar, I can self distribute up to like 50 barrels a year or something like that. Don't quote me on that, but that's how it is. Other than that, you would have to go through a distributor. By me owning a brewery, I cannot own a distributing company. So,
Mm,
for instance, let's say we're talking about Mad Elf, we're talking about Trolls, we're talking about Yingling. In the state of Pennsylvania, whoever is that distributor, there's only one. I don't care where you get it in Pennsylvania. I don't care if it's Philly. I don't care if it's Pittsburgh.
Allentown,
Wherever
Pittsburgh.
it is, it's one distributor. So if you
Right.
buying a Coors Light at the Link Stadium, and forgive me because I don't remember what they renamed the stadium in Pittsburgh, but if you buying a Coors Light in Heinz Field,
Right.
it's one distributor that has sold that beer.
Are you serious?
So when you thinking about it on that scale, and you're looking at someone like me who's coming up in the game, you if we all know somebody that works at a distributor. Certain days they get to come home with free beer, try it, whatever, whatever. Depending on your shift, that's depending on the better beer you're gonna get. Okay, but a lot of that beer that's sitting there, yeah, it might be Bud Light, yeah, it might be 211 or whatever, but a lot of it is up and coming small brewers
Mm,
because I'm still a salesperson. So if I know that I'm making my weekly check because I'm
right.
selling Coors Light, Bud Light, Yingling, or whatever it is that they sell, and then you got this mom and pop startup brewery that everybody don't know about it, but I'm trying to get it off. If I can get it off, cool. If I can't get it off, well.
Mm,
And as a little brewer, I'm selling it to this distributor as a whole from a wholesale standpoint, and if they can't move it, then they're not going to reorder, and
got
now I'm stuck. So it hits you twofold. It's hitting my pockets. Plus, I'm not getting the word out.
got you.
You know what I'm
The
saying
product
about,
not
about the
moving
brewer.
right.
So my ideology is we have a lot of black owned brewers, but we have to come up with a black owned distributor.
Mm,
Um, because that's the only way we can control it from point A to point B. And even looking at the state of Pennsylvania, when you think about like the wine and spirit, you know, wine and spirit when it comes to this goes back to what was it? I can't even think of it right now.
prohibition.
Prohibition. Wine and spirit only came into place because you were trying to deter people from buying alcohol. That's why you had to go through that third party to buy it. Because if you go anywhere else, you can get it cheaper. If you go to New Orleans or if you go to Maryland, it's cheaper to buy it because these are mom and pop liquor stores versus going through the state, and the state putting all the taxes that they already gonna put on it anyway. So it's all one big hustle.
But is that only specific to PA, to
No.
Pennsylvania? That's
You
that's
got different
across
states.
the
So
nation.
yeah, so Maryland, I believe they have a three-tier system as well.
Okay.
Theirs is a little weirder. I don't know exactly how the laws work. Every state has a different system, and that's the catch 22 behind it. So you can have the brewery, but then you have a lot of black-owned brewers, and they don't have a brick and mortar. A lot of them, like myself, they do contract brew. So you're paying someone to brew the beer for you. If we have to start looking at it and working it together because if I know that, for instance, my homie, Mecca Brew House in Columbus, and I know that they're able to black own, they're able to make it for me, and I can get it, and then we can start partnering up and figure out how we can bring that to this state. Why not? We got to work together to get to the common goal.
Yeah, because I know I was rapping with the crew out of Maryland, Libico. You know what I'm saying?
Livco, I went to school with
Yeah.
them. They went to
Oh,
college with
that's dope. I know when I was talking with them because they're not too far from me, and we was talking about a brewery in between in the middle of us that actually shut down. I was like, "Are y'all interested in that?" They said,
Tucson.
"It's a joint called Calvert's."
Oh,
Calvert.
okay.
They recently that brewery shut down. So I'm thinking they probably was going to take that, but they said, "No, we was in the works and trying to open up their first brick and mortar spot." So I was just like, wow. I'm like, how is it? Is it like that tough? Because I know in Delaware, when I was in Delaware for a minute, yo, it was like this span, like maybe 5, 6 years. All these microbreweries started popping up crazy. So I'm just like, oh, okay, everybody's getting into like crafting their own beers, which is super dope. Was you just had like the staples like Sam Adams and the Yingling, Coors, which is the old school joint, Michelob, things of that nature. But now it's
Mhm.
like people are coming up with their own flavors, which is super different from what the mainstream joints is. And I thought that was way more appealing to people. So for like my wife, for example, she wasn't a beer drinker when we first met each other. You know, I slowly got her around to drinking, and she's found her palate. So you know, she likes Belgian wheats, stuff like that.
Can't go wrong with the Belgians,
Yeah,
man.
can't go wrong. Yeah, you know, something nice and light. She's like, oh, that's cool. I can fool with that. You know what I'm saying? And then she'll start to dabble in other beers just to sample them. But at first was super against drinking beer whatsoever. But just taking her to different brew fests and things of that nature kind of got her involved in this, you know, trying beer more. So
Mm.
I'm super excited for these microbreweries to continue to thrive, especially in situations like yourself, like being able to get your own stuff, get your product out there so the world can get another taste of somebody's creativity as well. So
Yeah, it's a dope situation, man. I really do love the opportunity. I actually was in Delaware like not too long ago, and I had my shirt on.
mhm.
Dude like stopped me like, yo, that's a dope brewery. And I love like the fact like I like being a fly on the wall. I love that people don't like recognize me.
No, you right,
I probably had no hair. So it's
right,
like, oh, all right. Oh, where you get the shirt from? Oh, I was in Delaware. I said, all right, that's dope, man. You know, you probably got that from me. And he looked
right.
at me. I probably did. You're right. And this is dope just being able to talk to that person. And then I think the thing that we take for granted, any entrepreneur, anybody working on anything, they take for granted is people like being a part of the journey.
Hmm.
You know, people like being able to say it's just like that artist. You know what I'm saying? When you can say, man, I remember, you know, I got that such and such mixtape when he wasn't even nothing yet. I had that John, and you're watching them grow.
Right.
You're a diehard fan, not because you invested money in them or anything like that, just because you watch the progression of them. And I think a lot of people they just get to see me grow, see the company grow. And once they see the company grow, like these are people that I will always have as fans of what we got going on, and just keep tabs on what we're doing, how we're doing it. Our
Mhm.
next event, you know, tailgating. I'm an HBCU grad, so I'm at homecoming. That's I got to go home.
Got to, got to, yeah, and had a product, homie. Nah,
Got to
we getting this out here.
call me Turnpike Ike.
Talk about
Find me on the interstate. I'm
my
coming.
man. Yeah, that's hilarious, my man. So what's next then? What's on the horizon for you? I know Barrel Flow can't be the only
No,
joint that you
I'm
push.
I'm wait. I'm actually waiting for this application to drop. You know, they doing the first year in New Orleans.
Yeah.
So they doing New Orleans next year. The application was supposed to open up today, so I'm about to apply to that. So you'll see me in New Orleans. We are working with Mecca Brew House
Mhm.
out of Columbus, Ohio. So we have some of our beer there. We definitely got the Dark Joan on draft there. 10% stout, 10.1% stout.
There we go.
We got a few tailgates, Dale State, Norfolk State game. We're gonna have some of the beer out there. We're gonna have the beer at I know for Johnson C. Smith, there's a couple of like parties that we're gonna have. Well, I'm not gonna have. I'm one of the sponsors. That we're gonna have everything out there for that. I don't know about too many other homecomings. I know I am getting requests from Dell State, so we'll see what happens. You know,
You
we
know,
might be able to make
it's
something
the
pop
home of
out
the
of
homie, man.
Dell
Come on
State.
through. It's always a good time, whether the bros or not. It's
Yeah,
always a
yeah.
good time.
So we just working on that. But the main thing right now is working on getting a brick and mortar here in Philadelphia. Um, this is we got a new opportunity that's come to us. So we're going to see if we can make that shape. The goal is hopefully by 2026, 2027 to really have some at least breaking ground on something.
Nice.
Um, but for right now, the main goal is all the local distributors having some of the beer there.
Mhm.
That's where we're moving towards to make sure we have a steady flow so we can create the demand. Right now, it's getting into fall, so that was why the stout came out, the dark John.
Mhm.
Next after that, we're going to probably do the IPA, and then um, we're going to do the lemongrass and honey ale. You know, triangles are the strongest shapes in the world, so I want to make sure that I got those three in rotation, and then we'll start doing different. um, like limited time releases, just to start. The goal is to really get to a point where what I envision for the company is to like a Louis the 13th.
Mm,
And when I say Louis the 13th, because it's like Louis the 13th is so expensive because of when it was actually made, and it's coming out of that barrel from whenever they did it. So to create the lineage and to build the brand, I want to be able to have a beer that literally I actually made, and there's so much of it
mm,
that I can be dead and gone, and it's still that recipe. And as the time progresses, it keeps evolving into something different, and having something for my family to keep living off of, on top of just the company. The goal is to, I want to be able to say that Mac Brewing Co. has been around for 100 plus years, or excuse me, not me say, somebody from my bloodline say it's been around for 100 plus years.
that's super dope, my man, my man. So New Orleans, anything special planned for New Orleans we can look forward to?
Oh man,
I know we
so
pushing
for New
the dark
Orleans.
joint now, but that springtime we still kicking it with the dark joint, or
No,
man
no.
scientist
I
in the
think
lab
for
he can't really let.
New Orleans, I think I can let my hair down in New Orleans, man. We have a
Mm,
19.6% barley wine that we made at one point, and I would probably try to bring that down.
okay,
I can't guarantee that would make the trip, but that's something we had. It's crazy. I came up with that recipe 2021, 22,
okay,
and it was called High Noon. It was called High Noon because my uncle would always, like, around like Labor Day, we'd always have a big cookout around on like 59th and Pine, and they would always drink corn liquor. So whenever they was taking a shot, they would always scream out High Noon.
right,
So for me to make a 19.6% anything in a can, that is High Noon.
yeah, yeah,
But it's smooth. It's definitely smooth. But it's the goal, like I said, man, high gravity,
hmm,
and it's something that you can enjoy the flavor pal. So that's what I'm thinking. For Barrel Flow in New Orleans.
man. All right, man, definitely looking forward to it. Well, my man, brother Dave Mack, bro, where can we find you at? Where can we socials,
Social
website, whatever you got? What's going on? Let the people
website's
know.
under construction, but it is still up. So it's Mack Brewing Co. on all social media. That's, what is it, X now, Instagram. I believe it's a TikTok. I just got to get on TikTok a little bit more. And the website is macbrewingco.com.
Man, look, I appreciate you, bro. I know you probably over there brewing something up now. Dog, thank you for
Appreciate
getting
it.
on, letting us know about the Barrel Flow and your journey and being your own brewer, man. Can't wait to the next product. Definitely looking forward to seeing you down in New Orleans as well as homecoming and in the DSU versus NSU game, man.
Appreciate you. Thank you very much.
All right, team. Have a blessed one, Rue.
You as well, team.
Beer and burgers.